Alright, so we have our Lightning Meteorb Sorcerer here. I'm going to go over the skills, passives, and items real quick. And then point out that this is a tiny bit different from the previous version. Previous version used Lightning Blast, but I found it a little boring. And I didn't need it. And I tried Fireball, but I found that I didn't need it, even though I kind of wanted a magic missile. So, at the end of the day, on a request from chat to try Black Hole out, I decided to run Black Hole and kind of liked it. So, I now have Black Hole as a control spell, in addition to doing the Orb and the Meteors. So, first thing, key ability for me is Static Orb. So, Static Orb, the order I go in is a point on Forking Surge, get the 3 points in Open Circuit, max out Scatter Blast. Then I grab the point on Static Armor, a point on Critical Trajectory, a point on Overwhelming Barrage, and then max out Storm Conductor. Then I go and backfill Critical Trajectory. And I threw a net, like we had 1 point left, I think, after that. And I just threw it on Forking Surge to get more Explosion Tendrils. It's also fun to say Forking Surge. So, Meteor, the order I go in is a point on Force of Impact, grab up Aftermath all the way, then grab up Rapid Descent all the way, 1 point on Twin Meteors, 3 on Meteor Shower, 1 on Rapid Impacts, and 1 on Rain of Fire. Then go grab 1 on Crushing Force, 1 on Infernal Descent, and max out Stardust. Because we're Lightning Meteors, that means this damage applies fully. And then you have 2 points left over. I just grabbed up the Large Meteor chance, because the Large Meteor chance is actually pretty high. All things considered, that is not the Meteor button. You get one almost every cluster you do, and it's really nice to have that big hit area. For our 2 support abilities, for Flame Ward, it is a pretty standard Flame Ward loadout. We get the maximum barrier, maximum duration, 3 on the ward granted. First thing I do, though, is I do run up and grab the dual Aegis. But a lot of what Flame Ward is like some preferences in there. So if you want a Fire Aura, you can go for the Fire Aura. If you want it to be a damage booster, you can grab the damage booster. And then regardless of your element, you can convert it to a lightning version or a frost version and get that damage type. So yeah, there's a lot of like room for personalization on your Flame Ward. I just like going for this, the diamond and then the dual Aegis. For teleport, it's kind of key for this character to get Mana Tunnel. So go 2 points on Crystalline Passage, a point on Time Dilation, grab up your Mana Tunnel, get a point, 3 points on Tunnel Finder, and then the 1 point for Rock Phase. And then I backfill Tunnel Finder to make it a shorter cooldown. And then beyond that, it's personal preference. I like having the ward on arrival, so when I cast Teleport, I get the ward. You may want damage bonus, you may want duplicates, you may want Novas. All that works fine. But the reason we definitely want the Mana Tunnel because we can teleport and hit the wrong button. Teleport and a Meteor and it's free. And as far as I know, as far as I've seen, if we let this go, no, we don't get the mana back. Yeah, so it's a mana efficiency thing. So if we end up casting a Meteor where we didn't do the teleport to get it free, having this recharge very quickly helps a lot. So it's, I mean, maybe you don't need to run Aftermath. I use it for when we're not doing the freebie teleport Meteor. But yeah, we get the free Meteors, free orbs if we need the free orbs, free black holes if we need the black hole. Black hole, though, with the way we're running it, it's only 20 mana. It's basically not going to be noticed in terms of a cost for a spell. It is very strictly a control spell. It is not for damage. It is not for spawning meteors. It is entirely for getting a big pull area and a big pull strength on a shorter cooldown than normal. So we only have an 8-second cooldown on it. That technically is weak pull strength and weak pull area, but by putting the points in these two, it makes up for it. And then we get the 30% of our black holes will recast a black hole. Oh, and duration. So we have a long duration black hole. So we drop a black hole down, and then that'll hold enemies in place while we orb them or meteor them. So it can be like blap, 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 and pretty much everything's dead. For skills, though, the 5th skill on this build, you could use basically anything. Lightning Blast works great in combination with Static Orb and with Lightning Meteors. You could use your Elemental Nova if you want. You can use Static. Static is a great last skill as well. I briefly ran Disintegrate. You can run Disintegrate if you want it. Pretty much any lightning skill can go in that last slot. Hell, you could probably even run Mana Strike and have it work. Fireball actually does kind of work there too, because Fireball has the added lightning damage node that will turn it into a fire and lightning skill. But yeah, for the most part, as long as you have these 4 for the build, I should say this is my personal thing to have these 4 for the build, you can run Black Hole. And yeah, if you think your Lightning Meteors are enough, and if you're comfortable with them, you don't need to run Static Orb. You can do Lightning Blast and Static, Lightning Blast and Black Hole, Focus. If you feel you still need the mana from it, you can run Focus in there too. We're bordering on 400 mana though. Generally speaking, if you need the 400 mana to do this, you're fighting a boss. And you're probably not going to be sitting there spamming like that anyways. And you can see that through our mana regen, we actually get that back very quickly. So yeah, if you're spamming a spell to just drain your mana down and deal as much damage as possible, probably fighting a big boss, probably looking to get someone standing still just dead. So it's fine. In a normal situation where you're just running through a level, doing like orb. I love that there's a ridge there that catches it. Doing like orb, and like moving around, your mana is going to be totally fine, and I don't think you need focus at all. So for passives, for the mage, I mean, it's mage. Mage Flurry, Knowledge of Destruction, Elementalist. If you feel you need more resistances, you can grab Arcanist, more mana and health, Scholar. Pretty basic stuff. I mean, you could even get like the ward when you get hit thingy, but you could also get the ward retention from that. Yeah. It's stuff. In the Sorcerer section, pretty much grab the lightning stuff. Curanomancer, Rift Bolt, Crackling Precision, Arcane Obliteration. I went for Elemental Ascendance, Wisdom for more mana and int, Mana Shell for more mana and armor, Brainstorm for spell damage and mana regen. Oh, and of course Calculated Destruction. That's probably where I'd start. Just get that spell crit chance going. I have half of Arcane Insight done, mostly to get Elixir of Knowledge. And of course, like, Recollection's great for Teleport, Black Hole, Flame Ward. And then Archmage, because we definitely have more than 200 mana. So we're definitely going to get that tripling of that adaptive spell damage. I have 1 point on Arcane Current and Chronomancy, because all of the points... Oh, and I have 6 points on Elemental Affinity. So what's going on is all of the, like, things that we have maxed out in here result in us being 96 or 97. So we only have like 3 or 4 more points to distribute. So it's like, I don't know where to put those. So I'm probably just going to 1-point wonder some stuff. Or... I don't know. Probably put 1 point on Spellslinger. I mean, I could actually focus the last couple points on Spellslinger, Brainstorm. There's a lot you can opt for. I didn't like Afterglow, by the way. I tried that out. There's a lot you could opt for after getting the lightning stuff down here done. And yeah, I do recommend Wisdom for the 10 int, because for gearing, we're running, of course, Velatria's set, and when you have the 2 set, you get +1 spell lightning damage per intelligence. We have 76 intelligence. That gives us 76 base lightning damage added on to everything. Our lightning spells hurt. The crown takes a little while to get. I did it through, like, I tried farming it in Black Sun, but I ended up getting it through ascending helmets. So I ascended some mage helmets, and it actually did roll it up for me. So in the future, I'm going to keep in mind to save up my Ascendance runes to ascend this when we get to multiplayer. But yeah, that's the only really required gear, is the 2 Velatria's things. Velatria's, by the by, gives you 1% shock chance per int, and 1% increased shock duration per int, so you have a lot of shock chance and a lot of shock duration. You also get a giant chunk of mana off the staff. The staff is what converts the meteor to lightning. And then the helmet also has some lightning penetration, which is pretty neat too. And +1 to lightning skills, which is also pretty neat. My chest piece, we have an exalted line for int, which is why I'm using it. Plus having that +1 charge to a flame ward is incredibly nice. Not necessary, but very, very comfy. Belt is a belt. The rings are pretty much just rings. Again, we have int on the rings and an exalted line. And on the relic. The relic, we have that little pittance of lightning damage. I just ran out of forging potential before I could get to it. Had I actually been able to get that lightning damage boosted all the way, you know, that's going to be a relic that's going to last forever. But I'm still working on relics actually to try and find a replacement for it. Oh, Amulet, we have an exalted line of lightning penetration, increased lightning damage, and then some resistances. That's never going to leave this character, I think. Boots are transient rest. When I actually legendaried them out, I was trying to get critical hit avoidance on them, but the boots I fed to it had int and vit. Crit avoidance, and I think health regen. So I'm fine with actually getting the int vit here, especially for this character who gets flat spell damage per int. And then the last thing is the gloves are gloves. I haven't gotten a really stellar pair of exalted gloves to drop. And these just have everything I currently need in all the right places. Because you get the crit strike chance and then the cast speed along with some resistance coverage. And I think that's what I want, is I want the resistance coverage, but I still want the 2 DPS stats. So yeah, that's, I think, everything. Oh, idols. We got increased crit chance with the lightning. Got some increased armor and mana. 2 static orb tendrils. Increased crit chance and some spell lightning. And then increased cast speed while we have a lightning aegis, which we get off of our orb. And then more spell lightning. So we actually have a very sizable amount of spell lightning damage on the character. Yeah, it plays great. It's really fun. It's not disintegrate, but you know, that's fine. I could actually run disintegrate if I really, really wanted to, because that 6th skill slot is just open. It's just having the black hole has actually been pretty helpful for controlling mobs a bit. Though, I could make an argument that Static Orb is like some of the best mob control that this character can have, because it just kills everything, and Dead is the best status effect you could put on an enemy. So there's that. Yeah, so I'm going to leave this on the end of the stream, but I'll probably separate this out and share it separately. So yeah, I'll probably do like, I think I have 2 previous streams to put up. So I'll put the previous stream up, then the next stream the next day, and then this will probably be the 3rd day. And then, yeah, I think we'll be back on Wednesday to do stuff. Now I just have to figure out a Spellblade.